Why can some talk about almost anything and get engagement, whereas some people barely get attention, meanwhile they're talking about their area of expertise? That is because of something that I want to call the authority cycle. I'm going to talk more about it, so walk with me for a minute, man. Let's talk. The authority cycle is real, people. It's real. But when you talk about brands, creators, founders, throughout history, you find that there's some people that can just effortlessly move through domains. They can do this one day, talk about this one day, talk about this one day, do this one day, and people still rock with them. People still follow them. People still want to know what they have to say. They're doing something, they do a business venture, people support. But meanwhile, there's some people out there that they work and they work and they work and they do sometimes good work, but it just doesn't get recognized. It doesn't get seen. It doesn't get supported. The authority cycle is a real thing. I'm gonna walk you through the steps of the authority cycle. You tell me if it relates to you, your life. You might find some similarities or some parallels in your own life or people that you know, because throughout history, this is what it is. The first thing is familiarity, right? We don't trust strangers. Like, it doesn't matter what platform, whether it's X, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. We don't trust strangers. We don't want to give our money to strangers. You won't give your money to a stranger. I mean, I'm not talking about money on the street, but I'm talking about, would you buy a product from someone you don't really trust? No, there's no familiarity. Familiarity is built through repeated exposure to something. So when you think about it, when you think about people that you would give your money to and support, why do you support them? For many, many reasons. In the very, very, very beginning, you feel familiarity to them. You feel like you know them. You believe in them. And that's familiarity. That familiarity, you can build that through showing up consistently, sharing stories, making yourself look human. Like, this is what it means to be familiar with someone, when you can connect with them on a personal, on a human level. Second part of the authority cycle is trust. Is that building of the trust? Is that building of the familiarity? So when you think about people that are able to do things, they're able to move in domains and etc., it's because they've established that trust. And they've established that trust through people believing in their story. The person is showing their perspective of the world, their viewpoints, how they see things, and people trust in that. And because they trust in that through repeated exposure, they are more likely to believe in that person. They can trust that person. Third step of the authority cycle is now authority. Because once you believe in someone, you can trust someone. Now the next step is the authority part of it. The audience dictates authority. You can't dictate authority. I can tell people I'm authority about this, but if people and the audience don't tell me, or not tell me, but if they don't acknowledge that this person knows his stuff, or this person has a perspective I can believe in, or this person has a personality that I can connect to, if the audience don't give you that authority, then I'm sorry, it doesn't work. You can't get the visibility that you are after without people establishing your authority. And it's just as simple as that. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, right? I'm gonna let you in on an uncomfortable fact of life, right? Life is built on what I call the visibility paradox. We all want to be seen, right? We all want to be seen. We all want people to see our work. We want to be visible, but at the same time, we don't want the validation. We don't want to do things for validation. When people say, the numbers don't validate me, I validate myself. Like, people say that, but the reality of the situation is, you won't get seen until you get validated. Until the audience says this person has something that's really interesting, you will not get seen. And it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow for many, but this is the truth. Until somebody shines a light on it, it doesn't get seen. This is the truth. Like, we think that it's because of value. We share value, and that creates the visibility, but it's not that. It's the value and people validating that value that creates the visibility. So, like with authority, we all have authority. Authority isn't created by visibility. Authority is validated by people. The people validate our authority, and that creates the visibility. But we can't have authority without creating trust and that familiarity, because that's a part of the authority cycle. When I talk about the interpretation, now we go into that side of things, because in this economy, as I've said in other videos, it's about how you see the world, your lens. It's not necessarily about the topic that you talk about, it's your lens, how you see the world, how you see your topic. It's not just about knowing the topic, but now can you go deeper into the topic? Can you show me your lens to now show in different areas about your topic? And that is something that is missing in a lot of creators, and why a lot of creators feel stuck in their topics, they feel stuck in their niche, they feel trapped because they feel like, okay, if I talk about football, I only have to talk about football. But football can teach us about so many areas of life, man. Football can tell us about leadership, to tell us about discipline. You can apply football to dating, to relationships. There's a lens which you can use to now shine a light about life. And that's how creators can expand their topics to now show different areas of life and talk about that. And that's why I talk about the interpretation. It's not just about the topic, but how can you communicate that topic? How can you communicate your worldview? And that's why I talk about interpretation, because your authority can be established from people validating your lens. Let people see how you see the world, and people can now, okay, I can believe in this person. I can follow this person for their perspectives, for how they see topics that are relatable to me and to them. The interpretation is key. The final step is the followership. Once people become familiar with us, with people, they can trust you. Once they can trust you, they can validate your authority. Once they believe in your authority, then they can understand how you see the world. And then once they understand how you see the world, then they can follow you. And then that is a cycle of the authority. A lot of people are impatient to establish that familiarity and trust and authority and interpretation. They are impatient with it, and that's why they become stuck and impatient, and they move to other things, and they don't get to establish that authority. So for people that's watching, this is how authority works. And once you understand this authority, you can apply it to your life, your content. It's the way the world works.